Hi there, welcome back, and in today's video we're following along with our black and white theme using this beautiful glitter and also this lovely white glitter. It's got a little bit of a holographic effect there from the range. We've also got, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen there, some beautiful faux white pearls with a few little pink ones in as well. So yes, we're doing black, white and pink. It's a very palest of pinks, and we're using those three lovely moulds that you can see just about in the shot. There we go, that's a better picture, with their lids. We have used those before. We did them in a lovely green set, and if you haven't seen it, why not check out our playlist and you can see them. So here's the first mould. There we go, and then the second, and then the third mould. So just getting everything into position. So this is the first one I'm showing you. It looks a little bit like an urn in the garden that you'd see lovely display of flowers in. Then we've got this second one which has got the gorgeous, almost like broderie on glaze pattern on the outside, and then the other one with this lovely sort of pleated petticoat effect on it. So here is where the faux pearls come from. This was a lovely set we bought nearly 20 years ago now, I think, when we used to make a lot of beaded jewellery. They are faux pearls, there's a range of colours, and all I'm doing here is using my lovely little miniature spade there. They've got the spade from Jules at Resin Jules, so why not check her out, her website and her Instagram information, and buy yourself one of these lovely little spades. They're so handy. So all I'm doing is showing you here what I have done. I've used the top three in the right hand corner sections and then the middle three sections, and they are shades of white and palest of pinks. And all I do is I keep going. Oh, and as you can see, they're dropping them everywhere. Start again, Laura. I thought it would be easy, you know, using this spade, and it is usually. So I just continued to fill up this little silicone mixing jug here with a mix of those beads. Look at those lovely colours. They are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. So spoiler alert, you don't actually see all of them in the finished pieces, but never mind, never mind. Do stay tuned, don't skip ahead, watch the whole process. So I've got two more of these little silicone mixing jugs. And I've got that lovely, luscious black glitter, a good shovelful into that pot there, into that silicone mixing jug. So that's the black. And then all we're going to do is mix some resin in with it. So that's the black there. One thing I wish I'd done, because it was a bit thick and a bit more difficult to incorporate, I wish I'd put the resin in the jugs first and then added the glitter. But look at this, it's a bit more of a close-up. It's sparkling away there. Lots of little black sort of jewels of gosh, what is it that the spinel, that's it, spinel, if you know what the spinel jewel is. Lots of little black spinels, but obviously not spinels. So here's the white glitter. Now this acts a bit like the magic glitter number 1, if you've heard me refer to that kind of glitter. But there we go, we're popping that one in there, another nice big shovelful. Look at that. It looks very white there, doesn't it? But when you add resin to it, or you add it to clear resin, it actually doesn't. Now, we ordered some resin a while ago and completely forgot about it. And I found it the other day and I thought, well, we need to use it. So why not? Let's try it out. Let's see what this one is like. Now, you know, if you've watched some of our, enough of our videos, we prefer the brand that is T-Expert. We've used T-Expert resin, we've used Let's resin, we've used J. Diction resin, and we've used a company called Ghoul resin. But we've also used a company called Mould, M-O-L-D-D, and our overall favourite is T-Expert, followed very closely by Mould resin. But this is us using up the resin that we had. We knew we'd ordered it about, I don't know, 6 months or so ago, I think, and, you know, just to see what it was like. It's very thick. not going to lie. It's very thick. It did mix very easily and very well, and there weren't very many bubbles, as you can see there. I treated it exactly as I would any other resin that we've used. I did a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. I then stirred it slowly, evenly and carefully for about 5 minutes, and then left it to one side for 2 or 3 minutes just so all the little bubbles could degas. Now, this is what I mean. This is not sped up. This is me desperately trying to stir the resin into the glitter. It's much easier to stir glitter into resin. So can you see what that glitter's done? It's not that deep, opaque white colour. It's gone almost clear with pops of white and holographic glitter. And then exactly a similar sort of thing happened with the black, except for the black really was a deep black colour. There we go. Yeah, so, lesson learnt. Pour the resin in first. Add glitter to the resin, not resin to the glitter. It's much easier then to stir it up. So this is the first mould. It's got that beautiful, almost like petticoat hem to it. This is just some clear resin that I kept aside, and I'm pouring in down around in between the outer part of the mould and the inner part of the mould. Okie dokie. So we're just going to wait for that now to level out around the edges. It will find its own level. Do make sure that when you're working with resin, you do so on a level workspace area. Otherwise, you're going to have things curing a bit wonky. So I've got some of the mix of pearls here. I'm going to add a little bit of clear resin into them. Now, a big note to self, and I really should take my own advice. What I would do in future is I would pour in the pearl level or layer, let it cure overnight, and then go back and do the other layers. But I didn't do that. So therefore, I will say that in the finished pieces, you don't see very many of the pearls, which is a real shame. But it doesn't detract from how beautiful the finished pieces are. And if you've seen the thumbnail and you're watching this video, hopefully you agree. But why not let us know in the comments, what would you do differently? Would you do anything any differently? What would you add? Would you add faux pearls? Would you add some beads? Would you add some shells? Or, if you got like lovely pieces of natural pearl, mother of pearl shell or something like that, perhaps you would add that. Or maybe you just stick to a couple of different colours of opaque resin. That would also look nice in this, or clear resin. See, had I just done completely clear with these faux pearls, it wouldn't have mattered. They'd have floated up a little bit, but you would have seen them all. Anyway, I poured the pearls onto the centre of that mould there, and then just helped them down and around, down to the edges. Now, all I'm going to do is just try and even them out a bit. And at this point, of course, I didn't know that they were all going to float to the top. So I was hoping that what I was doing here was correct. But unfortunately, that didn't work. Another thing I could have done is just poured some UV resin around the bottom, popped the pearls onto the layer, and then cured it. That would have worked as well. But hindsight's a good thing to have, isn't it? Whereas at the time, obviously, I didn't have any of that. So I'm pouring on some of this lovely white mix glitter and resin onto it. So just pouring it onto the top. It's making its way down the sides, but I'm also just giving it a little helping hand there with my stir stick. Right. Moving on to the next bit. So what I haven't told you as well is that I have also made up some white resin. I'm just pouring a little bit more of the clear resin, just trying to help push down the rest of that glitter. Now, we have the black. Now, I'm very carefully putting the black in because black can take over. Now, I was rather generous with it, I will say that. But, oh my gosh, did you see that then? That went almost like a silvery colour when I put look how the black glitter is mixing in now with that white holographic glitter. It looks rather beautiful. Of course, what you are going to get when you mix black with white is grey. Now, this is the clear resin mixed with the Let's Resin white pigment. So I'm pouring that in as well. Can you see the way the resin's coming up the sides of the mould? It's gradually filling up. We're getting there. And then again, just pushing it down a bit more with some clear resin. And then just waiting for it to find its own level. And then going in again with the lovely white glitter mix. Look at that. I love watching the way the glitter moves in the resin. Fascinates me. And then there's that deep black glitter mix resin. Now, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, let's try and just mix the black and the white layers and the white glitter layers and see if we can do it. And I'm doing that by using, this is just a mini stir stick. It's a coffee stir stick. Can you also see what I'm doing there? It's a little bit like a drop swirl technique that Jules from Resin Jules pioneered, I believe. And I've seen her do that in a lot of pots where she's done the drop swirl technique. But it's looking rather beautiful. And look, in the bottom left right there, I can see a pearl has already floated up to the top. But never mind, I was not perturbed by it. I thought, come on, Laura, you've started as you mean to continue. Or continue as you have started. Just gave a little bit of a swirl there on the top, making a lovely pretty pattern. And also just going around the edges of the mould there, making sure that there are no little bubbles, air bubbles trapped. So this is one of the lids. I'd forgotten which lid went with what. And all I've done is poured into the bottom there some clear resin, popped some of the pearls in. Again, this is when I should have waited for it to cure. And of course I didn't. Because like I said, hindsight is a very valuable thing. And then added in some more of the beads. There we are. So although Hobbycraft don't do these particular beads anymore, they do a big selection of other beads, or you can usually find faux pearl beads online at Amazon, and we'll leave a link for some in the Amazon shop for you. There we are. So just going in again with our layers, and I remembered at this point that I hadn't put any black in, so I had to quickly put some black in, but not too much. There we go. Now with this particular lid, you do need to make sure you've got no little air bubbles just underneath that rim there. Otherwise you're going to be in trouble. Can you see all those pearls now floating up to the top? But never mind. It makes for a bit of interest, doesn't it? So I thought, what the hell? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's just stick some more in. It's something of interest when you take the lid off of your lovely little container or your pot and you see underneath all these beautiful pearls. So things weren't all lost. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't all lost. But there we go. I'm just making sure that, trying to push them out to the sides along with the resin. Again, making sure that we haven't got any little bubbles trapped. And then just topping it up with some more of the beautiful glitter resin there. Beautiful. There we go. So just going around with the coffee stir stick there, trying to get just underneath the rim of the pot, trying to make sure that there are no little air bubbles. And obviously by doing this, you do actually then incorporate the white and the white glitter, the white levels of resin and the white glitter resin and the black all together. So you are going to create, as you would have seen from the thumbnail picture, a sort of marbling effect. But you never quite know with resin. You never quite know how it's going to behave and whether or not you're going to achieve what you'd hoped to achieve, which in this particular instance with these pieces, unfortunately I didn't, but I do think we achieved something just as beautiful. But obviously learnt a few things in the process, like it's quite often what happens. And not forgetting these are how-to or to be inspired by, for you watch us do something and hopefully we give you inspiration to go off and have a go for yourself. Use ours as a basic idea and then, design your own or tweak it so that it fits what you like, whether that's colours or whether, you don't add things in, whether you use glitter or not. There we go. So we're moving on to another one of the pots here, and we've already put a bit of clear resin in, which has gone down to the sides, and I'd forgotten just how narrow the entrance was for pearl beads with this one. But perseverance pays off. Well, it did at this stage. So I'm just using my stir stick to persuade those beads to go down in between the outer wall of the mould and the inner wall of the mould. And then just to try and make sure that they're equally spaced as possible. Now, what would have been great would have been if we'd had a lot more of them, and then I could have almost filled, I could have just mixed a lot of beads in with some glittery resin and just poured the whole thing in. Then it wouldn't matter if any floated, because basically it would be so packed with beads, faux pearl beads, that you wouldn't have known any different. But unfortunately we didn't have a lot of the particular colourway left. But there we go. So it's all about using up what you have in your stash, and we had some of these in our stash from when we used to make jewellery. So here we go with the first layer. This has got that lovely white glitter in it. Then in with some of the white pigment and resin mix. And then in with some of the black. I do love the effects that this gives, especially this one, where you've got the white glitter mixing with the black, and you can almost see like a green glitter effect coming through. Look at that. Does remind me of sort of like a starry sky with cloud cover. Yeah. There we go. So just making sure again that those beads were poked down as far as I possibly could get them, and that the resin was going down the sides and there weren't any air bubbles or air pockets anywhere. There we go. So just making sure that's done. All around the edge at the underneath side there. And then all that was left to do then was just to top it up to the very top and give it a little bit of a swirl. There we go, just making sure that every last little bit is out of this. Now these three pots and their lids did take up a lot more than the resin that I had from those two bottles. Those two bottles made about 400 mils, but only just. We ended up using at least that amount again. At least. We did have some leftovers, so I made a couple of bangles with it, which I was rather pleased with. So this is the third pot. This is the one that looks a little bit like an upside down garden flower display, or an urn, a garden urn that you would put, you know, some lovely roses or geraniums in or something. Exactly the same process as we've done with the other two. Just pushing the pearls, so a bit of clear down first, and then pushing the pearls that have been mixed with a bit of clear resin and pushing it down into the sides of in between the inner and outer walls of the mould there. There we go. This particular pot is really pretty. I think this one might be my favourite of the pot moulds, anyway, of this particular type of thing. Or should we just say out of this set? So again, just repeating myself as to what I've done before. We've got the clear, then we've got or the clear with the white glitter, then the white pigment resin, and then the black glitter resin. The black glitter, can you see? I mean, it has behaved very, very differently to the white glitter. But yeah, so that's just moving down, and I'm just helping it, trying to incorporate it so it's not a definite lines. So we didn't have almost like rings of colour. I wanted it to mix. I seem to be a bit fascinated by a sort of marbling effect at the moment. It's not always my intention for things to come out that way, but you know, it's just the way things are going at the moment with this black and white series. There we go. So just continue to go, keep going, filled it up, gave it a swirl, and then I do fill up the matching lids as well that go with these other two pots. here we go. Just going to top it up with a bit of clear. As you can see, I've got quite a bit left. Now here is one of the remaining lids. It was at this point, well, it wasn't at this point, that, you know, at the back of my mind, I thought, this is missing something. What's this missing? It's missing something. But I didn't think very much of it after that. And I just thought, right, let's just press on. Let's do what I need to do. So put a bit of clear in the bottom there. And then put the pearls in. Then put a bit more clear in with the pearls. Just squished them all in there. Made sure I got every last little one out. There we go. And then just sort of pushing down and getting rid of all those little air bubbles that may have happened. And then in we go with the white resin, the white glitter in the resin. It does colour the resin slightly. It gives it a little bit of a milky look to it. And there we go with the white pigmented resin. And then the black glitter. Now the black glitter one at this point was really starting to thicken and I was getting a little bit concerned. So I was trying to work as quickly as possible to use it all up. There we go. I've realised actually how Halloween-y sort of themed these things are as well. Not really intentional, but that seems to be the way this has gone as well. And I don't mean Halloween by, ooh, orange and pumpkins and the cutesy bits of Halloween. I mean more the black and the white and the spooky bits. But anyway, so as you can see there, some of the pearls have floated up to the surface, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. So this is the final lid, just doing exactly the same process as before. So if you've joined us today, hi, how are you? What part of the world are you from? Where are you listening from? What's the weather like where you are? It is wet and cold in the UK. Winter is definitely almost here. Yeah. Obviously, you're aware of the fact that other places in the world haven't got it as lucky as just having a bit of rain and cold. And, you know, we are thinking about anybody who is having to deal with very adverse weather conditions currently. Do take care of yourselves. We're thinking of you. But, yeah. So anyway, thank you for joining us. If you've joined us in the live chat for the premiere, hi to everybody in the live chat. Hopefully, you know, you're enjoying this video, watching the mistakes I've made, and learning from it and thinking that, well, maybe we could do this ourselves. I'm sure everybody has the capability of doing these sorts of things. We really love making things out of resin. It is a hobby. It's not our business. We have regular jobs, but this is really good to go off and make something. Whatever craft it is a big stress reliever. It's a nice way to switch off from the day, from whatever else has happened during the day. But anyway, as I say, that was very philosophical and a bit deep, wasn't it, for this channel? My goodness me. Let's get back on track, Laura. Let's get back on track. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. And if you haven't liked, shared and subscribed, please do. It helps greatly. It means that YouTube will promote our channel more. It looks better with our stats, and it also means that we beat the YouTube algorithm, which is just their coding, their computer coding that tells them what's popular, what to suggest to people, to recommend to watch and so on. If you've just found us on a recommendation or just because you've been searching through YouTube and you've got a YouTube account, why not subscribe to our channel? We upload 3 times a week and we quite often take part in collaborations throughout the year with other artists. We have one of those. If this hasn't already gone out, it's on the 12th of October. It's a Halloween collaboration, and the demo is being done by Wayne, who is one of our other creators here at Lottie Jasmine Designs, and it is a doozy, trust me. So here's me, a whole 24 hours later, which if you know me and you've seen me in videos before, I'm quite impatient and I like to demold after 12 hours if possible. But I actually had to wait 24 because it's colder and things take longer to cure. But look at that. So although we haven't got lots of little pearl, fake pearl, you know, the faux pearl beads, we do still have some that you can see. And look at the effect of the glitter and the way the black has merged with the white. And and the pattern on these particular pots, I love. I absolutely love. Now, here we go with the lid. And we're going to get there, I promise. Look at me with my gloves, honestly. These are the right size gloves for me, by the way. I did wonder if my hands had shrunk, but they are the right size gloves for me. So just trying to prise this lid out of the mould. And there we go. Look at that. That's, see, if anything, oh, what a lovely little surprise. Some faux pearl beads on the underside of the lid, but that's absolutely fine. Look at that. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Now, when I put the lid on it like that, and I thought, I don't think this is the right lid. Oh dear. I wasn't having a great day. Definitely not the right lid. Let's try this one instead. So this is the other one. This has got to be the lid for this one. And again, as you can see, although it's cured nicely, the pearl beads all came up to the surface on this one as well. But, you know, it's okay. Now, we have got a couple of little sections, little places here where it looks like the resin hasn't quite covered all of the pearls. That's okay. We can fix that. We can fix that. There's only a couple of like tiny little pieces where that's happened. But these to me do look like, again, like they've been carved out of marble almost. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So when you look at that like that, look at the glitter, the black glitter, the white glitter, the black pigmented. I mean, and look, you can see them in the edge of the lid. We've got a few little places there we've just got to correct. Now, there is quite a difference in colour from the lid to the pot, but that's okay too. That's absolutely fine. See, it does look like a little spooky sort of special potion pot or something, doesn't it? Quite on trend and on theme at the moment with Halloween just around the corner, if it hasn't already happened by the time this video goes out. So, we have now found the pot, the base of the pot, that matches that other lid. So I'm going to do my best to try and demould it with these. I don't know what's going on with the gloves. I mean, quite often what I do wear is I wear a pair of white cotton gloves underneath these for comfort. And I know what the problem is here. I hadn't got those on. I just put these straight on because I thought, oh, I want to demould. I was very impatient. And then realised and then thought, I cannot be bothered to go. It was a bit lazy as well. Couldn't be bothered to find the white cotton gloves to put on underneath. But never mind. Never mind. We will get there in the end. Well, there's just a little bit of overspill there. Need to get rid of. So yeah. I mean, persevere is what I would say. Perseverance when you're trying to demould something. Persevere. And if I need to, I knew that Wayne was in the same kitchen as me. Was in the kitchen with me, which is actually where we do all our crafting. We've got an area that has been taken over in our kitchen by this whole crafting, setup. It will be like that. We hope that's only temporary till we can sort ourselves out with our own little workshop studio. We've got a few little bubbles, air bubbles there in the base, but that's absolutely fine. Look at this. Oh, look. And some of the pearls have actually stayed where they were supposed to stay on this one. So that gives you more of an idea. Look at it. It's beautiful. And you can see like the broderie on glaze lace pattern there all the way around the pot. Looks beautiful. And that is the lid that goes with it. Looks absolutely stunning. There is something really magical about that. Now, this is the other lid. Now, this is the one where I was filling up and I'm thinking, there's something missing. I think it's the lid. Is it the lid? Or is this actually the pot? Yes, this is the lid. Now, as I was demoulding it, I thought, I know I haven't done. There's an inlay piece for this, made from silicone, which means it doesn't take up so much resin. I thought it was I thought at the time I'd forgotten something. And yeah, let's just say, had I've done that and used that bit, it would have looked a bit different. But it's all fine. We've still got some of the faux pearls in the top part of the lid there, as you can see. Look at that. And then the beautiful, I just love the way the glitter's combined in. So you've got white, we've got black, we've got grey, we've got silver, we've got the little bit of holographic glitter going on, and the beads. Now this is the base part that goes with that lid. There we go. So because I've done what I've done with the lid does sit up proud from the pot, but that's fine. Here we go. Look, I've had to tag in Wayne. Wayne, can you come and try and demould a bit of this for me, please? So here he is, carefully demoulding it. I think he does possibly end up taking it out of shot, but yeah, it was like a bit of a tag team sometimes when it comes to demoulding things. There we go. Wayne to the rescue. Thank you, Wayne. So again, all the pearls have come up to the top there, which is actually the base of this mould, but that's absolutely fine. It is what it is. But look at that. See, again, with this one, two or three of them have actually stayed where I wanted them to stay, which, you know, it doesn't detract from it. It looks beautiful. You get the idea of where I was trying to go. But, yeah, it still looks lovely. Nice and round and cured lovely there. Because you see there around the top, look at this, is such a beautiful pattern on this mould. Some of the pearls have stayed where they are, a majority of them haven't, but that's still absolutely fine. I still think this looks beautiful, and it does look like it's carved out of marble to me, even if I say so myself. But there we are. Inside looks beautiful too, lovely and smooth. And then there we go. Now that lid should sit further down into the pot, but it doesn't, and I cannot bring myself to cut off a large slice that's got all those lovely pearls in. So this one will be sitting up slightly proud there, but you know, it is what it is. You'll see more of what I mean when I turn it sideways on. There we go. Can you see? We'd have to remove that large chunk. I mean, who knows? We might do that. Then again, we might not. We might just have it so that it's like this. There we go. Now, we had some left over. So all I did is I brushed the base of this bubble tray. I thought I'd done it half and half with some Sage Glow mica powder, which is white with a touch of sage. But look at that. Because I've poured in the glitter resin with it, and we've got a bit of overspill to deal with, it's come out really deep, sort of metallic pearlized green. Look at that, sage green. I now wish I'd brushed the whole of it over with that beautiful mica powder, but I didn't. But this is what I did with the leftover resin that I had. And I did also do a couple of bangles. One of the bangles is, at this point when I was doing demoulds, was okay to demould. The other one wasn't. So I did leave it. Now, what we could do, and what I will probably do before putting this up for sale, this particular bubble tray, is get one of the beautiful rose temporary tattoo transfers that we've got and put it in the centre of there, and then put a very thin layer of resin over the top of that. Now, this is the bangle that I'm going to demould. It is still soft, but you can see... Oh, yeah, adjust the gloves again, Laura. Adjust the gloves. I've got to do something about those gloves. Unfortunately, I've only just opened up the box of these gloves, so I've got to use them all. There we go. So just trying to demould it without bending it too much. But you can reshape it. It's absolutely fine. Here we go. It's coming out. So there's white on that side, and then you've got a little bit of that sort of greeny colour peeking through with the glitter as well. Look at that. See? So you could have that. You could finish off the bottom there, just give it a little light sand and a little buff and a bit of a polish up, and you could use it as a bangle, or you could use it as a ring to form part of a macrame pot hanger, if you've seen those, or you could use it to make other things. So this is our final shot for these. I really enjoyed making these, and definitely is still one of my favourite sets of moulds together. This is beautiful. It does remind me of an urn that's in my mother's garden with, I think she's got roses and geraniums in it. And here's our little Broderion Glaze lace patterned pot. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. It'd be great to see you again in 2 or 3 days time when we upload again another video. Still following on with the black and white theme. Gonna try and, do something we've never ever done before. Join us, hit the notification bell, and you'll see what we do. Take care everyone, have a good few days. Goodbye.